It is the Capricorn season, and I have been meeting Capricornian limits time and time again, trying to film this video. And for reasons that I cannot currently ascertain, my new camera, keeps cutting out. And I thought we were past it, and I nearly filmed the entire video, and then it stopped. So I'm going to give it one last crack. Let's hope this is the one. This is the theme of perseverance here that's relevant for this month. So, hello again for me. Welcome back. I've been away for a few months in a kind of creative hiatus. Really reconfiguring the way I approach my creative work and hitting up on some pretty deep, I guess, ancestral limits and other bits and pieces, and there's been a very deep overhaul and internal process. And my camera that was on back order for 3 months, I ordered it, it was meant to come in a few days, out of stock. So I kind of moved with this feeling that it would come through in the mail when I was just about ready to jump back into some filming and making some content. So here we are. We'll see if we get through this video. Capricorn, Happy New Year by the way, is a sign of spiritual initiation. It is where Christ is born, the Christ, where one climbs the mountain, perseveres, and reaches spiritual attainment, where the two-horned goat, representing, as all the two-horned creatures do, a kind of duality between opposites, a push and pull between different motivating forces, into the unicorn, the single-pointed initiate right there, with the unification also of the heart and the mind, a unification which is pretty much non-existent in the lesser expression of Capricorn, where we have materialism and the confines of the Saturnian bind, the dweller on the threshold, Saturn as Satan in that sense, the imprisonment of the mind. And we see that imprisonment as well too in polar opposite sign Cancer, which is the lunar prison, and the gate into incarnation, where we begin as souls, versus Capricorn, where the gate out of incarnation happens through that initiation. The keynote, remember, for Capricorn is "Lost am I in light supernal, yet on that light I turn my back," heading back down the mountain and into Aquarius, the sign of the world server, where the waters are poured forth for thirsty men, right? So we see this polarity of Cancer Capricorn in the Christmas period, with the coming together of family, and in the best case scenario, celebrating love, connection, a sense of unity with our family and friends, with the spirit of gift giving as an extension of the love that we have with one another. So that's a beautiful thing there, but we can also see too during this time the shadow aspects of both Cancer and Capricorn, the limits of Saturn, let's say, in the materialistic quality, consumer culture, everyone buy, Black Friday sale. Not that I'm anti Black Friday sale, by the way, I'll sometimes pick up a good deal. But in terms of the encouragement of mindless consumption, food, drink, alcohol, rushing about, the modern problem of the hyper-mental, productivity-focused modern world, right? All of these sorts of things. And then also the lesser aspect of Cancer and the moon, with the limits of our ancestry and coming and hitting up against some of these unregenerated psychic patterns that we all carry. Remember that the moon and some Cancerian placements are often quite common in the charts of depth psychologists, for instance, heading into substance, into psyche, into the depths in that place, the valley with the mountain there, right? So the two horns of the goat there, and something to think about when reflecting on our own Christmas experiences as well. And also, yeah, the invitation with how we can bring that truly heart-centered approach to the Christmas period. We are told in an earlier iteration of our human development that there were only 10 signs of the zodiac, where we had Aries to start and Capricorn as the last sign, which we still have an echo of with the fact that Capricorn happens at the end of the year and leads us into the new year. And there's also a nice connection between Aries and Capricorn, in that Capricorn is the sign of intermediary development for the sign Aries. That is to say that before there's a consummation in Libra, esoterically considered, where we unify with the opposites. I had another video on that, the zodiacal opposites. There is the development of the quality of that sign into the intermediary sign. In the case of Aries, that is Capricorn, the sign where Mars, as the exoteric ruler of Aries, is exalted. What this means esoterically is that the seed thought that is generated in Aries comes to fruition and actualization in Capricorn. It makes sense, particularly when we understand Mercury as the esoteric ruler, right, of Aries, bringing in the thought forms and all of this. So a connection there, but we might say that through our New Year's resolutions and the Saturnian reconstruction and recalibration, if you will, of our goals, of our spiritual center, and where we're moving towards, the mountain that we have to climb, that we carry that awareness into the new year and then perhaps initiate some projects or initiate some of those next steps upon the mountain, let's say at the beginning of the zodiacal new year, which would be during the Aries season. So something to think about there. But on this subject of the New Year's resolutions, because we might think that that's just one of those silly collective cultural things, right? But there's always an esoteric underpinning to these motifs. And in the case here with Capricorn, it is that Saturnian reflection, reconstellating, meditation. And remember that Saturn, as the mental principle, is exalted in Libra, the sign of meditation, contemplation, reflection, the super mind, the judicial mind, weighing up of this and that. So in Capricorn, then, the invitation is, and for all of you too, to really think about looking at the past, the Cancer moon thing there, looking at the past year, reflecting on how did the year go? What worked? What didn't? How effectively did I stay on my mountain? How strong is my center in that spiritual divine purpose and in the heart? Because coming back to this thing with the unicorn, where the heart and the mind unify in the initiate level of this sign Capricorn, where the mind is no longer ruling over the heart in the materialistic expression of Capricorn. There is a deep centering in the love of the heart, the love of humanity, the love of the divine unity of all beingness, and that becomes the central point out of which our mind can then be utilized in an effective way to bring forth the will of God and the mission of God and our higher template, another Saturnian thing there, mental thing, of what it is that we're here to do and to really work towards that. So that's really the purpose of this New Year resolution reflective period, if we want to take that a little bit more deeply and really utilize this lunation cycle between the Capricorn new moon and our Cancer full moon to our greatest spiritual potential, let's say. So this is the invitation for this New Year period and this Cancer Capricorn cycle to really reflect on the true self, that is the spiritual self, and really having a proper evaluation of what is inhibiting the expression of that, what past forms, what outworn mental crystallized thought forms, what disorganized material in our day-to-day life, in our heads, in our households, because there's the Cancer thing there as well, the roots in our material life, in the form, in the home, and the valley, the importance of keeping the house clean in terms of that valley point in Cancer, that nourishing womb-like place, so that we can have the nourishing ground that can allow for that mountain climb to take place. So it's really a theme of responsibility, reflection, also detachment, looking at our past failures and our limitations, but objectively, that's the higher turn of Saturn there, and really just making it practical. Capricorn is, at the end of the day, a practical sign of practical actualization and focus and concentration. And it really requires us to get a move on with the cleaning up process, both internally and allowing that to translate into a proficient kind of organized practical activity in our daily lives. So I think we'll end it there. Just a quick one today to say hello and hopefully be seeing you more soon. And I guess also in reflecting on the past year, thank you to all the new subscribers and the few of you that I've worked with. I've just been so impressed and warmed and inspired by just the overall quality and caliber of you that have reached out to work with me. That's a really big achievement and accomplishment for this year, having got back into making some content and having come out of a really foggy, difficult time with all of these Piscean movements as well. And yeah, thank you for working with me and letting me come into your lives and offer a sounding board and some guidance here and there. Yeah, and it's a big step for me because I had at earlier times tried to do some creative work and things here and there, but I just wasn't quite ready and I wasn't quite bringing in the right people, and I've just really been, as I said, impressed and really warmed by the people that I've worked with this last year, and looking forward to hearing from more of you. Please reach out if you want to connect and dive into your chart a bit more, or have a sounding board for just delving deeper into the problems and the challenges and the opportunities as well for your own solar unfolding. And yeah, I think that's all for the moment. So thanks again, blessings for the new year, and I will see you all very soon.